Praise God. God has been so good to us. With all the struggles in this world, we are still alive today is because of God's grace and His never-ending love. We all have some things in our lives that we wanted to do for a long time. Tried doing everything we can, been praying about it, but it's just not happening. Have we ever thought about it? Why are things not going our way? Is it because God is not hearing our prayers? You know, the most difficult thing to handle when our prayers are not answered is the questions that pop up in our minds, the questions that come along with it. Did I do something wrong? Am I such a bad person? Why is God not healing me? Why am I being treated like this? Why did this person leave me? Is God even listening to me? I've been praying the same prayers for years with no answers. These are some of the questions that we get, and things in life simply don't make sense. We spend most of our time looking at the great big gap between where we are and where we feel like we should be. And we get angry and frustrated. But there is one important thing that we forget to do, which is to trust in God's timing. You know, God's delay is not God's denial. We need to have faith in God, that God wouldn't have allowed the things that happen in our lives if it was not for our benefit. Just because our prayers were not answered when we wanted them to be answered does not mean that God doesn't answer us. God has His own timings. He has His own way of answering our prayers because He knows our future more than we know our past. Have faith in God's timings. When God says no, it is not rejection, it is redirection. Maybe God is saying, not now, my son, my daughter. Not there, my son, my daughter. Not that person, my son, my daughter. Because He has the best interest for you and me. The things that you're going through in life today are not by accident. It's part of God's plan. In Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." His plans for you is not to harm you, but to give you hope and a blessed future. But we always want God to do things right now, today. But have we ever imagined what would have happened if God would have answered the prayers when we wanted Him to answer? Things would have got a lot worse than what it is right now, isn't it? That's the reason most of the times we say, thank God it did not happen. We need to have peace in knowing that God has His own way and His ways are always better than ours. Remember, His plans are always to prosper and not to harm you. He wants to give you a future and hope. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. You know why? Because your understanding and my understanding might say, it's not possible. It's just not going to happen. But let me tell you something. When you trust in God, God says, my son, my daughter, I love you. I want to heal you. I want to bless you. And I want to prosper. Trust in Him even if you think you're going in the wrong direction. God knows your future better than you know your past. He knows what's coming. And by letting you go through the things that you're going through in life today, He is preparing you for the blessing that is coming your way. He's a loving Father. He loves you more than anybody in this world. He knows what you're going through. He knows your heartache. He knows who betrayed you. He knows who let you down. He knows who left you. He knows what that person did to you. He knows every detail of your life. He knows every pain. Sometimes we are so heartbroken when we kneel down to pray in His presence. All that we can do is sigh and take a deep breath because the words are not coming out. Our heart is filled with sorrow and pain. Let me tell you something. God knows the reason even for the deep breath that you take. He knows every single detail of your life. He knows your hope and dreams. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 says, "For he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world." Greater is Jesus that is in us than all the confusions in this world. Greater is Jesus that is in us than all the fear and the sicknesses in this world. Trust in God's plan because His plans for you is bigger than your plan for yourself. But we need to remember one thing. It may not happen the way we want it to happen. It may not happen when we want it to happen. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 says, "Now unto Him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us." God is going to do things bigger than you ask or you think. God sees things in us that we ourselves cannot see. God does everything in His time. He's the God who created heavens and the earth. He's the God who hung the stars in the sky. This awesome God is not bound by 9 to 5 schedule. He knows what's best for us. He is never a day late or a day early. He is an on-time God. At the right time, God will answer your prayer. All we need to do is pray and wait patiently for His time. Trust in Him and trust in His time. God bless you.